Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be looking at a comparison between two pairs of Yeezys, a replica one and a retail pair. The replica one was sent to me, the retail one I purchased from Adidas directly. I've had it for quite a while. So straight away we will have a look at the boxes. As you can tell, you can probably guess which one is retail and which one is a replica. So this one on the left here is the retail pair and this one on the right is the replica. So if we have a look at it. The one on the right here has the US sticker. This is common on most replicas, whereas the one on the left was purchased in Europe. So it has this sticker here. As you can tell from the box, it's pretty beat up. It's come all the way from China, so it wasn't packaged incredibly well. The retail box looks slightly lighter than the replica. The replica is slightly darker than the retail one. Obviously the stickers are different. I've already shown you that. If you turn it around this way, you can see the box on the replica is completely beat up. It's actually torn here on the corner, as the authentic box is in pristine condition. So that's pretty much it for the box. You've seen the 350 box a million times. So we'll now open it up and have a look at the comparison between the different sneakers. As you can see, the replica box is incredibly hard to open because it's so damaged. So the replica comes with this tag here. This was attached to the pull tab at the back. Also comes with the box paper flat on the ground, whereas the retail pair came covered in the paper, as it should be. Obviously this box doesn't shut properly because it's so damaged. So there we have the two pairs of Adidas Yeezy Blue Tint. The retail pair doesn't have insoles in. This is because I wear this without the insoles, and since I have had this pair for quite a long time, I've lost the insoles, in fact. So don't judge based on that. The comparison on Instagram will be done without insoles to make it a bit harder, but you should be able to tell. This is the replica pair here. As you can see, they've done quite a good job. Based on the color wise, there's pretty much no difference at all. The laces on the replica pair are slightly lighter. This could be due to the replica pair being newer and less worn than the replica pair. So in this video, I'm going to try and point out a number of flaws that can be seen and try and help you break down some of these flaws in case you want to buy an authentic pair. So we'll get straight into it now. So first of all, if we look at the overall shape of the shoe, keeping in mind I've worn both, however I've worn the retail pair far more than I've worn the replica pair. So if we look at the shape, you can see at the heel on the replica pair, it curves far more than an authentic pair, even with the authentic pair being worn for a large amount of time. The replica pair is also a lot more chunky in the whole forefoot of the shoe. You can see that, compare that to the shape of the replica. Don't worry too much about the pattern down here, where you can see it differs. This varies depending on factory and size and different things like this. These are the same size, however the pattern can vary from pair to pair. So if we look at the top of the shoe, the stitching going down the middle here is much thicker on the replica and looser on the replica pair. I'll try and give you a close-up of this as well. The stripe length varies as well, so don't judge on this because it can vary depending on size and from pair to pair. I've seen many differences with retail pairs themselves. If we look at the text on the side, on the retail pair at the top here, you can actually see the text is slightly larger than on the replica, which is surprising. The 350, as you can see, if you compare both threes, you can see there are slight differences in sizing. However, the replica has done a pretty good job of this. On the early batches of the replica blue tints, the lower line here had no vertical stripes like it does on the retail pair. I hope this is going to show up on the lighting here. This one does have the vertical stripes, however, they are much more inconsistent and are much lighter than on an actual authentic pair, as you can see. I'll try and give you a comparison there. If we look at the back of the sneaker, you can see that on the retail pair, it's kind of squared at the top here. It goes up and then goes straight across and down. If you look at a replica here, that's one that's sent to me, it's much more curved, as you can see. There's also a smaller gap between the 3 Adidas stripes and the corner. Hopefully that's coming up. If you compare that to this one, you can see there are differences in sizing. The colour, however, is almost spot on. There's basically no difference, and after a certain amount of wear, this won't show up at all. If we look at the toe, you can see that the toe guard here from the sole is much bigger than on the authentic pair in my left hand. There is also slight colour differences, but I'll talk about this in a bit. If we look at the sole here, you can see there are slight colour differences, but this can change with wear. The Boost on the replica is actually extremely good. They've given it that gloss finish and it feels almost identical to a retail Boost. The retail Boost is slightly softer. However, based on appearance, there's almost no difference at all. They've done a very good job with the Boost here. If we look at the heel, which is probably the largest telling point, you can see the complete colour difference between the sole of the replica and the retail. Just here at the back, you can see where it changes from being the sole plate to the side of the midsole. You can see the colour difference. Blue tints are known to go a yellow colour with certain wear and sunlight. However, because I've only worn this replica once, the colour is already very yellow. So that's a key flaw in between a replica and an authentic pair. However, the replica has taken into consideration the yellowing of the sole that will occur, and this, I believe, will not look out of place after a certain amount of wear because it will look just like a worn blue tint. If we look at the pull tabs, you can see the retail pull tab is slightly wider than on the replica here. The replica is much tighter and a bit longer. However, the retail one is really loose and quite long in length. If we look at the inside pattern, you can see here at the heel, there is an extra stripe that goes to the heel. As you can see on the authentic one, it disappears into the heel. However, on the replica, you can see it curls up just here at the heel. However, the replica has done a very good job of imitating the retail. If I take out the paper, which I've included, we'll compare them two. So on the replica pair, you can see it's much compact, stiffer, whereas on the retail pair, it's much more flimsy and broken apart. There's a complete difference. This feels almost more laminated than on the retail pair. The retail pair is much more flimsy and paper-like. That will pretty much conclude the comparison between the blue tints, replica and authentic. I hope you have enjoyed. In my opinion, the replica's done a very good job. It just seems a bit more chunky than the actual retail pair. The retail pair seems a lot more slick. There are no glue stains on the replica pair, so they've done a good job of that. The only difference I would say is the main difference is the sole colour. However, it's done a pretty good job. The person that has sent this to me has been tagged in the Instagram post, so you can check that out if you want. However, I would like to make note that I do not promote replicas in any way. This is just for educational purposes only. I hope you have enjoyed the video. If you can spot any more differences or anything like that, just comment them down below or comment on my Instagram post when this test goes up. Stay tuned to the Instagram and subscribe if you would like. I'll give you some B-roll of the shoe. I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.